Okay, so next up is Omar. Bronze gear saving the day. Martin confirming the day saved. All right, weapons artists. Let's check this out. So what did Omar have anything to say? The last thing I posted on Artstation was 10 months ago because I am currently in my last year of high school. That means that if it's in the US, it's like 18 years old or 17 going to be 18. I've been hella busy. He's in the US with it. And it has been very difficult focusing on finishing a project. But in the meantime, there's a project that I've posted some work in progress on Polycount account that you can take a look at. It's an AR-15 rifle. I bet he already finished it, and it's in here. No, is it this one? I bet it's this one. Dang, that front barrel is cool. So seeing this type of stuff, this might be a little too opaque. So if it was just a little softer, I think this would be really, adding details like this, I really like. If it's that smoky, you should have a little bit of wisps coming out of these little holes as well. This gun's real hot, apparently. Oh, it's even in the store, dude. Lovely presentation. I feel like I'm looking at a magazine here. This is awesome. Look at that surface detail. So overall, it's pretty strong. Your modeling is pretty on point. The materials look really good. There's a lot of motion in the surfaces. In like the roughness, like for example, the safety or the auto and semi-auto switch is you can see that it's actually been used and moved around. The wear looks pretty good. I would say maybe that if we go up here, maybe the roughness variety could be a little stronger. So like back here, you've got the stock is like a different material, or it's painted and it's aging a little bit it's wearing a little bit on the edges there. But the grip, for example, could be a little bit more rough and maybe even have like a texture to it that really separates it from the metals itself. And then I can see that like scratches like this are really difficult to, as far as I know, are really difficult to do into metal. They're most likely going to be maybe half as deep or even less. And it's going to be either the paint or or like a roughness change. Yeah. I would say removing the normals on these, Ben says it in chat, Ben Wilson, removing the normals on these and just relying on roughness to really push the look. That being said, I want to make it super clear that roughness does almost all of the heavy lifting when it comes to PBR materials. If you want something to look dirty, a lot of the times the dirtiness is not in the albedo, it's in the roughness. So you get all the different changes in the way the lighting is behaving on the surface. This is pretty cool though. The wear along these little indents here is really nice. Let's look through some of this other stuff. So you've also made this one. See, now this one's pretty cool just because there's some different materials that the lighting gets to play with. Think about it like lighting is a kid. And you're giving this kid a bunch of different toys to play with. That'll give you some material variety, right? You don't want a kid to have one toy. You want to give that kid like at least 3. That's a weird analogy. Anyway, so the material breakup that you have going on here is pretty good. It's just like what this is. This material here could maybe be a little more diffused, a little bit more rough. I think that's like leather straps. This right here And in this area feels really, really good. Now, this is where it gets a little weird. You've got some wear going on here that's very stylized. This one's 2 years old. Wait, what? And this one is a year old. Oh, that's... So, as far as quality goes, let me look at this one really quick here. Yeah, so as far as quality goes, I would actually I would keep this and just put it here. Move these two forward, and then put it here, and then your pistol. But when you have enough content for your portfolio, when I say enough, like 5 or 6 is a pretty good portfolio. Like it's a good point in which you can start removing things as you scale it back and update things. And as you add, you can keep it down to 5 or more if you want. But this one isn't really doing you any favors when you're looking at your content, because I would maybe click on this one first, and this one's not nearly as strong as this one. This one looks really nice. The other thing is I would think about like where framing wise this detail is and where it meets your props. Like this is okay, because if you have just a little bit of room there, it would be a stronger thumbnail. Now, getting back to this guy, the wear on it and the color of the surface is so dark and the wear is so even that it just feels very artificial, right? So making sure to match up the way that things wear down. Man, I bet there are some crazy weapon reference sites out there. You should definitely be looking at that, even if it's like a say this gun wasn't real, for example, and it looks like a modified, like an alien P90 or something. Just understanding how surfaces work, how they wear down, and depicting that through your own work is going to be key, I think. Like, for example, this strap feels super thin. It feels a little okay up here, but it's still like half the thickness I would expect it to be. And maybe like that wear line, if this slides around at all, that wear line is going to be much wider. I wouldn't say wireframe views are a must in portfolios. Depends what we're looking at. Oh, look at this. Yeah, there's some specific elements where I'm like, okay, I see what you were modeling. Like, see how the rail above is like got this little separation point here? I think that's so you can actually remove the rail. Whereas your rail looks like it's integrated into the model. That's another thing that I would really strongly suggest if you're making props or weapons, is really understanding how they're connected together or how they are put together. Because that'll just add to the believability and kind of add the details where you expect them, which leads the viewer to believe what they're seeing more often. Yeah. Right now, this is very sci-fi feeling just because it's all kind of one piece. Or it feels like it's kind of fit together as one piece. But I would try and replicate this gun as it is here. Andre, what's up, man? How you doing? Let's check out this Glock and then we'll move on. Ooh, I like the wait. I like that accent color here. We looked at this one before. I actually really like this one. It's quite dirty on the top, but it adds a little bit of character. And there's like these weird, like, kind of looks like sweat or oil here from like the grip. And I always like seeing something like this in action. Man, if you could have this gun like slowly moving back, and the shell is kind of moving away as if it's slow-mo, and then just have it reverse and go back, and then go back and forth, but really slowly. So you're just seeing it in motion. Oh, That look nice. And while you're doing that, just have a light that's slightly shifting just so that you see the surface reacting to the lighting. That'll really show your work off nicely. That's more about presentation than anything. Yeah, Andre, it's crazy sometimes, man. This is nice. I'm like, what is that? Metal. It looks like the metal got a little hot there and kind of discolored a little bit. There's a lot of screenshots for this pistol. Oh, I like this one. Man, I really like these presentations. I feel like you should probably focus on shrinking this down just enough so that you know that it'll show up in the frame of a monitor, right? Of a 1080 monitor. It's a lot of nice presentations. It's cool to see the wireframe in this case, I suppose. There's a lot of geo up here that does not need to be there. Like you can consolidate that into a few edges. But yeah. And I don't usually click on these unless I want to see the light behave on it, but I'm not bothered enough, I guess, to click on them a lot of the times. But paying attention to storytelling in your materials and looking at variation in your materials, I think the storytelling in this asset was like off the chain, like real good. You could see the like the narrative of like how it's cleaned, how it's held, that it's used, and then just our Ben and I suggestions on removing the scratches from the normal map. And I think he'd be good. But yeah, if you want to be a weapons artist, I mean, I would just keep making weapons. I'm not sure how quickly people make weapons. So I would say record your time at some point when you start to make a gun and see like where it ends up, and then just kind of understand and analyze how long it takes to do each kind of like phase, if you want to call it that, each phase of gun creation. And I mean, guns are like in some sets modular, right? So there's a lot of pieces like rails and stuff. You should be able to start saving parts that you can use later when you make another gun. Yeah. Just to chime in, update the splash image. This one. Oh, yeah. That is a very good point. Yeah, if this up here was this, like nice and close. Man, if it could be this. Oh, that would look so cool. Super strong. When fix the scratches, then make that your up here. And is this your logo or is that a signature? Yeah, weapons artists can have a pretty minimal portfolio. I would say keep it at this for now. Get another gun in here, and then on the next one, I would remove this one. Because it's clear that you're progressing in quality. Let me actually... I'm just going to grab the link you posted, and I'm going to bring that up really fast on my other screen. So right now he's using his banner as his work in progress page, which is an interesting approach. Man, this is some detail. Oh. Yeah, I look forward to you posting the finished version of that. I'll just keep it to this for now. But your that's looking hot sauce here. I'll post it in chat as well for everyone to check out. So material variety, storytelling in the surfaces, keep pushing that. Thinking about the order of your props or your weapons and which ones to keep, which ones to remove. I would remove this one as soon as you feel like you're comfortable with the amount that you have on your portfolio. There's no right way to do a portfolio. It's more about just showing what you can do, right? and anything you feel like does not show you in a good light as far as quality goes, remove it. You're always going to be shifting stuff around. So yeah, but yes, let's get to the next portfolio.